California has been in a drought for over 100 years of varying degrees of intensity. Even though we have had many recent storms, California as a whole is still considered to be in a drought. But there are many ways that you can help us out. Three main overarching solutions that could help California become drought-free and stay drought-free. One of them was irrigation. So there's lots of unnecessary irrigation going on farms and in household gardens and yards and stuff like that. So just educating the public on proper irrigation practices would help reduce the amount of water used. Also, using gray water instead of potable water to water plants, because humans can't drink gray water, but the plants are unaffected by it, which ties into my second one, education. So for education, the lack of education on the topic of the drought is very severe, because how are we going to teach the next generation how to not make this happen again if we're not doing anything about it? So that was another big one. And then getting involved, going to your local nursery, or going to a volunteer day at a garden or something, just to see what they're doing, how you can take that into your own home and modify that for your own uses in your house.
What is our city's forest goal or mission statement?
Our main goal centers around a phrase, which is ecological stewardship. We want to foster a sense of ecological stewardship in the communities we serve. What we mean by that is basically, instead of just going out and planting where we think things should go, or sort of guerrilla planting shrubs in parks or anything like that, which in many cases you're not allowed to do. Okay. We want to work with community members, schools, religious organizations, neighborhoods all together, and plant trees and shrubs and convert lawns. And the idea is that in doing it together, people understand the importance of it, understand how they can take care of it themselves. Basically that we're not just outsourcing all of our environmental protection work to a small group of people, but rather that we all feel involved in it.
Yeah, it's like a community.
Yeah, it's a community project.
For our project, we volunteered at Our City Forest. Our City Forest is a nonprofit organization that cultivates a green and healthy Silicon Valley by enlightening community members to care more about the water conservation and the environment that surrounds them. While at Our City Forest, we participated in activities that bettered the nursery. We also learned about how they conserve water and how they promote people to do the same. My group members and I were able to see how the small adjustments in our daily water usage can make a huge difference for the nursery and the environment around it.
We're going into a 5th grade class at the end of the project to show what we learned about the drought. Is there anything that you could tell them, or anything we should teach them specifically to get them interested in the environment?
I think there's two components, right? You need to make sure you need to build the scientific knowledge, the basic scientific knowledge to start. So I think confirming that they understand the water cycle is important, because for most people, we don't really, especially in California with such little rain, with the exception of this year basically.
Yeah.
If you're just growing up, it's hard to imagine where all the water's coming from. And so really showing people how water gets cycled, how you end up with fresh water coming out, drinkable water coming out of your tap, and teaching them about how aquifers work and how water processing works, and really drilling in that it's not just an endless available resource that is just there magically, but showing that doing things to conserve water have very dramatic direct impacts on the price of water, the quality of water, the environmental impact of getting water, because of course not all water comes from right under our feet. A lot of it has to be pipelined in or brought from other places. I'm from Los Angeles, where no water is really from there. So I think really teaching people how the water cycle plays a role in all this is an important foundation that many people, I didn't understand really before I started learning.
For our project, we read the book Unquenchable, America's Water Crisis and What to Do About It by Robert Glenn. This book bettered our knowledge about the drought and how to fix it. This book taught us about the causes of the drought and the environment that is affected around it. After reading this, we further researched our topic and wrote a research paper.
The paper was in the format of a problem solution, which means we had to find several problems and solutions that could fix them. Our problem was the drought and how it affected different environments and how we could save water. Some of these solutions we picked May not be the best ones, but they are great starting points that we can build off of in the future.
When we got to go to our city forest, I think the whole group thought that that was such a great experience because we really learned a lot more about the environment around us and how to take care of it. They also used recycled water, which is another big one because they're not just taking potable water that anyone can drink. They're taking recycled water, using it to water the plants.
The state of California has been in a drought for 6 years now. It has been the driest in the history of California. In June 2015, Governor Jerry Brown instituted a 25% water restriction. In May 2016, Jerry Brown issued an executive order that bans practices deemed water wasteful, such as hosing down sidewalks or driveways. During the drought, approximately 102 million trees died. Since then, 30% of California has emerged from the drought. Even though most of California is not in a drought, Governor Jerry Brown has not repealed his executive order.
For the past 5 years, California has been plagued with a major drought, and humans haven't been helping. Even though Mother Nature hasn't given us any water, we have not been spending our water correctly. We steal water from lakes and rivers, hoping that it'll be able to fix our water problems, but in the end, all it does is hurt the environment more and all the species living within it. Even though some steps have been taken, more needs to be done, such as saving water at home and volunteering. Some ways that can be used to save water at home is to take shorter showers and do not waste water you do not drink. People should volunteer at places like our city forest because it really helps people open up to the environment and realize what is happening to the environment. Even though this drought is ending, we must take what we have learned and put it to good use. If we save water while we still have a lot, when we go into the next drought, we will have some to use. In the end, we hope you take away the fact that the environment needs our help, and in order to save us and everything else, we must conserve all the water we have.